didn't have a ton of topics. I threw out if anybody wanted to ask us anything. Doesn't even have to be. That's pretty solid. A little stanger micro. I threw out an Ask 3CT if anything you want to ask us. Doesn't even have to be about wrestling, but
Lil Stanger, is that an Ernest Christian thing, or is that a Lil Stanger?
Lil Stanger.
Mario asked us, what was your most infamous / shocking wrestling moment?
Luigi.
Anybody want to give their most infamous or shocking wrestling moment?
Infamous. It would be, oh my goodness, what a maneuver. Cleaning up an apple from
you're taking
Carlito.
Like personally things that we did.
I actually don't know what Mark's would be. Oh, that's not what he's talking about.
I mean, you can take it that personally, literally, without a doubt.
What about when
that's CM Punk face paint? He doesn't deserve to go up on the list anymore.
Oh no!
Take him off the list.
That's a bad sticker.
That's a real bad sticker. They'll probably sell 100,000 of them though. I mean,
what was the question again?
Infamous is a bad thing, right? Like, I mean, Owen Hart dying in the ring would probably be that.
It was awful.
I mean,
yeah, that happened.
Oh shit! I forgot to unmute Matt. Sorry, Matt.
That's fine. I cursed at Ryan fully after the Carlito comment, but no one really saw the Owen Hart thing happen unless you were there live. So is this supposed to be like something you saw happen that surprised you, or?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can interpret it any way you want to. So yeah,
something that surprised me. Then I saw Bret Hart live, not drooling at the Reading.
Really
shocked the hell out of me.
See, I have the signed figure behind me. I had to wipe that thing down with Clorox wipes like 18 times just to get the stains off of it.
I heard that.
And then again after Jim borrowed it.
Bottom too. How you like that?
Are we
Bret
getting
Hart
hacked?
Likes a wet
oh, okay.
Oh, I think Big Mike probably had to go. Maybe he had to go.
Get it. He's upset.
He is upset.
This upset him so much he didn't want to talk about it.
I mean, it happens.
Infamous.
I mean, like a Saint Bernard, Matt. Really, just
Jesus.
Everywhere. I remember when I met Bret Hart,
like a cocker spaniel on a summer's day.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I had to stop at the concession stand and pick up a few more napkins for him. Poor guy. Do you remember who I wrestled? I said to him, he said, I saw you at my first live event I ever attended, you and Jim Neidhart. He said, do you remember who I wrestled? And I seriously didn't know what he said. And I said, I'm sorry. Do you remember who I wrestled? I said, yes, I do. It was the, what was their name? Was the Young Stallion, something like that?
Mark, you're telling the story.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
Jim, these are WWE people.
Yeah, come on, Jim.
Stallion? Who the fuck is the Young Stallion?
Wasn't the Young Stallions? That was Paul Roma and Jim Powers.
And Hercules, right?
The Hercules.
Power and Glory.
They came out with Jimmy Hart's "Crank It Up" song. Remember that from Pile Driver? Crank it up.
Now we're going to be fast.
Sing a few more bars of it, please.
Oh, Mike's coming back.
Crank it up.
There we go.
Hey,
Mike back.
What? Young Stallions.
I got to pick sides.
Yep.
There we go.
There it is.
Now we're back.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
It booted me.
You got the booty.
Devin has one quick here. What's your guys' worst interaction with a wrestler?
There was this referee once at a CCW show.
Yeah, they were the Young Stallions.
I did mention the having to clean all the drool off of the Simpsons figure I had Bret Hart sign. That would be up there.
That guy Ricochet's a real dick.
Does having to clean Eddie Valentine's vomit out of the ring
Ooh.
count as
Oh
bad
yeah,
of
Jim, you did have to do that too.
I did have to do that.
That was a tough one.
That's
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't necessarily have.
I mean, there's been wrestlers that were like just kind of short with you. I mean, Moose signing his picture with the ballpoint pen was kind of annoying.
Yeah, that'll come up.
Dalton Castle not having merchandise to sell at all was kind of just weird.
Yeah, that's strange. Yeah, I can't necessarily think of any I had a horrible interaction with.
Yeah, my only one is Ricochet.
Yeah, I can think a ton that had great interactions.
I mean,
I've had bad like celebrity meet and greets, but I've never really had one.
Snitsky almost made me shit myself when he almost pulled me off of the stage at the Harrisburg Forum, but that was more being out of humor than it was out of being.
But Jim, it wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault. Actually, it would have been his fault.
Now, Matt, what celebrity did you have a bad experience with? Was it the Fonz?
That was weird, but it wasn't a bad one. I went to meet Michael Madsen and to have him sign my Kill Bill DVD. And he showed up like an hour and a half late, clearly under the influence of something. And it was like 10 a.m. But no judgment. That was probably a bad one for some people. So he shows up an hour and a half late, clearly under the influence at 10 a.m. I hand him the DVD to sign, and I had already had it signed by Vivica A. Fox, and my goal was to get everyone to sign the cover of this that was part of the Kill Squad and Kill Bill. And he looks at me and he mumbles something and points at her signature, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get everyone to sign this. And he signs the fucking back of the cover, so it's not even on the same side as hers, and it's just like 2 scribbled lines, and I was like, thank you for this.
Now you can't display that.
No, I threw it in the trash. I was so disgusted.
I'm upset about that.
Wow.
Devin says Al Snow, he was like very into himself. He wasn't interacting with people, and he was kind of a dick.
You know what? We're not going to tolerate that. We're collar and elbow affiliated.
Yeah, sorry, Devin. We can't.
You're gone now, buddy.
You know who was kind of weird that now that I'm thinking about it was Val Venus.
I don't know. Surprised me one bit.
I don't know, Ryan and Jim, if you guys went to that Legacy show.
You know where we were?
You were at the Hall of Fame show.
And Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame.
That's
Mark,
right.
were you at that show?
The first.
No, I was at the Hall of Fame too.
You were at the Hall of Fame.
One show. Yeah, I was at the Hall of Fame. Nikita Koloff was sitting.
I don't know who lost out in that more. Us going to that Hall of Fame or Matt meeting.
We got to break bread with Nikita Koloff.
That's true.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was real legit.
So that wasn't necessarily like weird to me, but he cut a promo in the ring after his tag match, and he talked for like 20 minutes, and he just kept saying the same things.
Sounds about right.
It was like, you know what, wild cards, you guys have 4 things that you need to have when you enter a wrestling ring. You need to have grit, and then he went off about how important grit was, and then he was like, on top of grit, which is important because, and then did it again, and then got to his second thing. And by the time he hit the 4th thing that was important to have, everyone was just kind of like awkwardly standing there looking at him. Like, do we walk away? Are you leaving first?
Bad.
Do we owe you money? What's going on here?
Yeah. So is it safe to say that Edge took the "Get Grit" slogan from that Val Venus promo?
Probably.
Edge was in the audience.
I think
just making sure.
The only one that I can even really think of, and it wasn't like bad, like she was mean or rude or anything, but Gail Kim she seemed disinterested to be there, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, at that point in the state of KPW, I don't think we were very interested in being there either, but that's the only one that sticks out to me.
Yeah, that was tough with Gail Kim because they had her like clear across the arena up in the balcony all by herself.
It was weird.
That was very odd.
The way like the roof, like she was like we were like under the roof line. It was weird. It was a weird spot to put a meet and greet in.
I met the Blade or the Butcher, which everyone's married to Allie.
The candlestick maker.
That was Blade.
It was the candlestick maker.
Yeah, Butcher has the moustache.
And they had just changed his name to Braxton Sutter or away from Braxton, and he was like complaining to me, and we were talking, but he's like, yeah, so like I billed Pepper Parks as the name, and they changed it to Braxton Sutter, and like expect me to sell stuff, and nobody knows who I am, and I'm like, right, but like you also just said you got over Pepper Parks, so like.
Get over.
Nobody knows who you are. Just get over Braxton. I don't know.
No,
it just seemed really an odd conversation. Very nice, very polite. We talked for maybe 10 minutes.
Did you ask him if he wanted a wham burger and some French fries?
He had me sign something, which was nice.
Did you ask him if he wanted a wham burger and some French fries?
A wham burger? I did not. I should have. But I was hungry at the time too, and didn't want to bring up food.
I mean,
Vader was an odd one. He smelled like cat piss.
He didn't smell great. He like demanded the meet and greet be in the ring, which he didn't tell anybody until at the time of meet and great. So he had to scramble to find like not a broken table in that building at that point. So that was fun.
That was good
weird.
Times.
Super cool.
I mean, we all got to go out to like your place, which was great.
Yeah, like we went out with him. Like after
that was weird sitting at a same table as Vader. About 1 a.m. while he's eating a cheeseburger. That was weird.
Just chowing down
that, and when we did that with Rikishi as well, I believe.
Big Rikishi.
After one of the show.
But hey, at least your meals were paid for there.
I think we're still waiting to get reimbursed by the state Department of Corrections. But
he's going to send you a license plate instead, Jim. Personalized.
All right, let's talk about the name change. We'll get to. We have a couple other questions.
Speaking of name changes, looks like Devin bumped into Pepper Parks too at an inappropriate time. How about that,
Devin? Why do you always make it weird? This is why
you talk to someone. That's etiquette. That's bathroom etiquette. You stare at the wall.
Keep your eyes
around
on
and
paper,
trip Pecker Parks. It was a happy accident.
I think it's enormous. Poor Pepper Parks left there feeling a little inadequate.
You made him feel bad, Devin.
That's probably why he was really upset when I was talking to him.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I talked to Pepper that night too. I actually referred to him as Pepper Parks because I remember he was number 500.
I thought you were talking about Al Snow's dog.
I thought he was talking about Pepper from the movie Dodgeball.
Pepper.
Walter is no more.
Who?
Gunther.
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 Stupid name.
So on the 13th, a week ago, the WWE filed to trademark the name Gunther Stark for the for entertainment services. This, of course, backfired big time on the WWE as a simple Google search found that Gunther Stark is the name of a historical figure with ties to the Nazi regime in World War II as a U-boat commander.
Yeah, not so good.
Not so great.
Did not see that coming.
Well, apparently nobody in the WWE did because apparently they don't know what the Google machine does.
Can we talk about how they have all these people under contract to do nonsense, and not one person thought, "Hey, maybe I should look this up before we hit send."
Well, I mean, let's see.
We got to fire wrestlers, but we can't even do a Google search of a last name.
We know at least one person that works for WWE knows what Google is because that was the reason China wasn't in the Hall of Fame for so many years, allegedly.
Again?
Is because if you Google her name, things may come up. But then
they might.
You had the submission sorority, China, and now you had Gunther Stark. So maybe somebody should talk to somebody about what Google is. But of course, NXT 2.0 this week after defeating Roderick Strong. Walter grabbed the microphone and declared that the winner of this match is Gunther.
There it is.
Gunther.
Now, today it was revealed that WWE has abandoned the trademark filing for Gunther Stark as a name yesterday. They removed the trademark filing. So Gunther is no known last name, at least at this point. Because he was going to
formerly known
be
as
honest,
Gunther.
if he was Gunther Stark, he was going to end up being either Gunther or Stark at some point anyway.
What about Gunther freaking Stark? That might be a little better.
Well, is he gonna marry into the freaking family, or
he should?
How does that work?
That could happen.
So,
Gunther.
Thoughts on the name? Matt, your thought on the name? What's your thought on the name change to Gunther?
It doesn't make sense to me. Like, why do they continue to have these stupid fucking names that they like? Walter wasn't even that great to begin with, but you give that to him, he owns it, he makes something of it, and then you're like, nope, let's make it even worse. Let's take 2 steps back. Like, who's coming up with these names creatively?
They didn't give it to him. That was his name on the Indies.
What?
Walter.
Okay, but I mean, that still isn't great. So if like you're going to make the change, why wait until he's established himself as someone in the company? Like if you want to make it Gunther, then do that.
His shoot name is Walter. Like, that's why he was Walter.
It's still a stupid fucking name, but at least like he was able
You're over
to
the line.
Make Walter. It work. And
way out of line.
I don't understand the fascination with WWE that people only have one name all the time. Like, they bringing them up with 2 names, and then all of a sudden they're like, eh. Like Biggie Langston, nope, too long, too hard to say. Biggie. Antonio Cesaro, nope.
I mean, I would argue that Biggie has traded up by losing to Langston.
I would argue against that.
I mean,
I think everybody can know their names, but we never address each other by our full government name.
Is that true?
And why isn't it just Reigns or just Roman? Why wasn't it just Cena? Stone Cold Steve Austin? That's 4 fucking names. Sorry, you're Steve now.
I mean,
you're Cold. Hey, Cold.
Cold Steve.
Cold. Where's Stone? Has anybody seen Stone?
I mean, Jim Ross referred to him as just Stone Cold. I mean, as you heard, exiting every pay-per-view for 2.5 years.
Like a good single name is like.
I came up with Gunther's last name as well.
What's that?
Pfannkuchen.
Pfannkuchen?
Yes, it's German for pancake.
Oh,
I like it. I like it a lot.
I actually had pancakes for dinner.
Flip for that.
Oh my god.
Gunther Pfannkuchen.
Gunther Pfannkuchen.
Maybe people were getting Walter and Walter from The Big Lebowski confused, and they thought Walter was like a bowling gimmick, and they just had to get rid of the name.
Dude, you know that's not the case.
That's
probably.
You don't.
I always got them confused.
Now
is that Walter or John Goodman? What?
Who is it? Vince McMahon might not know that NXT UK is part of WWE. So when he came to the main roster or to NXT non-UK, Vince changed his name. So
that's true. I mean, I'm not probably 100% sure if Vince even knows what NXT is.
This is the first time Vince saw him. You think?
He's like, who's this guy? Walter. Don't like
it. He's a Gunther.
He's a Gunther.
It turns me on.
Hey, he's a Gunther.
Like,
and what's Gunther to do? Like, he just moved his family here from like Austria or wherever he came from.
Beautiful this time of year.
I think he's Austrian.
Yeah, I think he's Austrian.
The hills are alive over there.
I don't think he moved his family here.
Oh, he did that. Maybe he moved.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that him and his wife are going through a divorce, and now he's dating Ginny from the NXT UK roster because I follow both of them on Instagram, and
good on Gunther.
Yeah, why not?
That is, according to Wikipedia, that is accurate.
Oh, I stand corrected. He left that
Maybe
bitch back
his
in the
ex-wife?
UK.
Like I just
my biggest problem overall of this was Jim already making excuses for it the day it fucking happened. You know how stupid that name is, and for you to say I don't hate it, everyone hates it. Walter/Gunther hates it. You know you hate it too. Your wife definitely hates it. You told us that.
Well, I don't like it because she doesn't like it. That
Fair enough.
I had to get the word.
He needs a last name.
She is not a fan. Like I
Keith
don't
Lee
love
hates it too.
it or hate it. I honestly, and I feel like this is a very Ryan thing to say. I just don't care.
Oh.
Like I don't get why they did it. Maybe they'll explain it. Knowing WWE, they probably won't. He's just going to be Gunther now.
Jim, when I say I don't care, that's because I don't feel like arguing with somebody how much I hate it.
They did it because you could obviously tell that they were trying to turn Imperium into some like fake Nazi wrestling group anyways. So they decided to go with it, hoping that no one knew what Google was, because obviously nobody in their office knows what the hell it means. So they were like, you know what?
They're still
We're just
using
going to go
Bing,
for it.
and I don't know if the same thing comes up.
No, see, the
Wouldn't
thing
that
is
be
they're
the
using
second
parental
Stark?
control button. They're
That
using
would
the
be the
parental
second
control
Stark.
button.
There's Zoe. We got
Like
Zoe
when
Stark.
did NXT or WWE ever allow two of the same last names and not be related? Ever. I mean, unless we would just have start calling her Zoe.
Yeah, they probably would.
Yeah,
start
Zoe
calling
would be good.
Yeah, they absolutely will.
Zoe 2.0.
See, I think the problem is WWE's been using the Google with the parental control on, so it doesn't show anything like violent for anybody over the age of 10.
When they looked up Gunther,
you look up
Gunther
Gunther
cheating.
Stark, and it takes you to like a redirect to an Iron Man Wikipedia page or something because it has the last name Stark.
And like
maybe it was just like a coloring page that they saw, but it was from like a Nazi coloring book, and they didn't investigate. They're like, "Oh, this must be kid friendly because it's a coloring page.
It's colored.
The coloring page, yes. A picture page.
A
Makes
picture
sense.
page.
Run with it. I love it.
Oh, what is going on?
What happened?
I don't know. Mike froze up.
shit.
Brian froze up. You know,
Are you
I
serious?
kind of feel like in a similar way to like the Bearcat name and how if Gunther ends up being successful, then I don't think it matters that his name is Gunther. If he doesn't end up being successful, then it doesn't matter that his name was Gunther because they fucked him up anyway. So like it's to me it's how do you book the person? Like if you book them correctly, it doesn't matter if they have a stupid name if they
a stupid name is already a disadvantage to anyone. So you're already setting this person back before they can even get started.
I think everybody's talking about Bear Claw Lee.
Bear Claw Lee, that's correct.
And like that's a tough name to be burdened with.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at that and say like, oh, it was like an older black wrestler and they were trying to pay homage or whatever they were doing. But like that's also a burden to a wrestler today to have to carry that plus try to get over.
Right.
Okay. Well, let me task
I don't know if like, the Gunther
this.
thing is as bad as Bear Claw or Bear
no, it's not
Claw
even
Lee.
close to as bad.
Let me task the panel with this. Give me a stupid name of a wrestler who's over.
The Hurricane.
I said a wrestler who's over.
I mean, the Hurricane was over.
What about the Red Rooster?
We're not swaying us at all here.
Jesus.
I mean, they're older examples, but I think that's somebody like Shane Helms came in from WCW as a cruiserweight champion.
Ron Breaker.
Oh, come on now. Are you talking specifically WWE?
Jason says Orange Cassidy.
I think that's a solid answer.
Okay. Yeah, and that's fair.
I mean, his whole gimmick is not serious, though Walter's gimmick is serious.
Right, and I think Gunther can be as serious as Walter is.
Do you really think that?
Dude, Gunther sounds like somebody that is going to change the oil in my car.
Gunther.
That is Gunther.
Gunther, get out here.
Right, and who's Walter? Your tow truck driver. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I always associate him with the bowling character, so that's on me.
I mean, that's fair. Like, yeah, like it. Gunther can be booked as successfully as Walter would be.
What if we make Gunther his last name?
Stark Gunther.
Gomer his first name?
Axel Gunther.
Axel Gunther. Gunther owns my laundromat / deli. Trying to think of some other ones. Yeah, I don't know if there's any current ones.
And even like the Hurricane or Fandango, like those guys got over because of how like dumb some of their gimmick was.
I think
Fandango was over because of his entrance theme more than anything else.
That was big.
I think Fandango's a great example. I mean, there's a guy in NXT that got rebranded onto the main roster as Fandango from Johnny Cardiff.
But was he over for anything besides his entrance music?
That leg drop.
No.
The guy debuts at WrestleMania winning.
Against who?
Yeah, you got me.
So what about bad names that were over for the company they were in, like Egotistico Fantastico?
We don't even know where that goes. Is that one of the South Park guy movies?
No, that won me $1. Thank you. That's all I needed. Joe told me that he begged me that I couldn't put for $1. I couldn't get a Egotistico Fantastico line into the show, and
$1's $1.
Heck yeah!
Was that a Shane? Is that what did you say?
No, that was
oh, cha-ching.
Oh,
what did you say?
Shane McMahon?
I thought that's what he said.
The best in the world.
I mean, if Doudrop wins the women's title, does that count?
Doudrop's an awful name.
That was Joe Shane.
But if she wins the women's title, will that count as?
Is Doudrop over at all?
Over what, Matt? This one feels longer.
Man, there wasn't audio with that one. There's not any good suggestions here in the WWE right now.
And like that's the other thing. Like, look at some people who had bad gimmicks starting out. That like, there's no way they can get that over. That then turned around and got a new name. Like, do you think Bray Wyatt's character gets over if he's still Husky Harris?
No,
probably not.
No, the name change worked. I mean, again, I don't know. WWE has always caught in shit for this, and I think there's a ton of great examples of when it worked.
Like, do you want to see a wrestler named Sean Stasiak in the ring, or do you want to see Meat in the ring?
Right.
Meat.
That makes a person more happier and a whole lot of meat inside of them.
Tugboat.
I mean,
beaver cleavage, right? Mosh. I mean, great. I agree with you.
Duke the dumpster Drose. I
mean, Veer is trending every Monday night. That's all I'm going to say.
Veer is coming. That's why.
He's coming. He's not here yet, but he's coming.
He's on that slow
got
boat.
some stamina.
He's been coming for weeks.
Was he invited to come though? That's the thing.
I don't know.
If he was the invite.
If he must have lost the invite. And I mean, like, people hated when Devitt was renamed Finn Balor. I mean, there's been name changes that people haven't liked that have ended up working. Like,
sure, but Finn Balor isn't a bad name.
I think you have to look at the difference between somebody entering the WWE and getting that name change immediately, or somebody already in the WWE.
I mean, his name was Prince Devitt beforehand, so I mean, it's not like it was a great name before he came to WWE.
Right, it wasn't like King or anything; it was Prince.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just down on the chain.
Right.
He's waiting for somebody in his family to turn on another member of his family to become part of the hierarchy.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I don't get why you do it now. Like, if you were going to do it, I don't get why you wait until. I mean, he's already been on NXT before. It's like, I get that he's like new, quote unquote, to NXT 2.0, but like he's not new to NXT. We've seen him on NXT.
I'm really struggling to find other people that was in the WWE that had gone through a different name change. I mean, the Ringmaster to Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Like that would be
right.
One.
What, like we
shitty
can
ass
see,
Rocky Maivia.
We can see people that made upgrades with their names.
Albert
but I'm
A-Train to Lord Tensai.
So
sweet.
Struggling to see anyone that went from like a good, not even a good name, but like a name they were known as to something else, and still found their success.
What about
Rick
Billy Gunn, the
Martel?
Rockabilly?
That's not a bad one.
That's not a bad one.
To Mr. Ass.
To Mr. Ass, to
Bart Gunn being knocked out.
To the One.
Oh, I forgot about the One. See, the one was a regression, I believe.
I think so as well.
Yeah,
so Billy Gunn may be an exception.
Tito Santana to the El Matador.
El Matador.
See, we got Kane and all 30 gimmicks beforehand, but I think that was a step up.
Correct. I think El Matador was a step down.
He was never.
He stepped in something.
Terrorizing.
Terrorizing.
Sorry, I needed another beer. I'm making a beer change.
Totally fine.
Beer.
Perfect was always Mr. Perfect, right? In the E, it was never Kurt Hennig. So that
At
one
the
doesn't
end,
count.
Did he come back as Kurt Hennig? Or did
All
he come back
right, I might have found one, and even still, it might be just a lateral move. But going from the 1, 2, 3 kid to X-Pac, I feel like
that's an upgrade.
The one Billy Gunn.
We said that one.
And how excited are you again, Matt, for the X-Pac in the Royal Rumble this year?
100% bought in.
You brought it up again another week. I just it's on your mind apparently.
Heavy on his mind.
You know,
Heavy.
And to me, I mean, it comes down to, for me, it comes down to, is there an explanation as to why they do it now? Like, it does.
Damn it!
Is there a storyline reason?
The Dewdrop thing was a storyline, right? So you can't even count that. Like, that was Eva Marie disrespecting Piper Niven.
Right, but then even after she dumps Eva Marie, she keeps the names.
She could have got, that's fair.
So there were, there was a reason for keeping it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if they come out on Tuesday, because that was literally the end of NXT this week, was him announcing that he is now Gunther. So, like, if they come out this week and there's a reason for it, there's a story behind it, and they make it work, then Gunther works. If they don't and it flops and he's out of the WWE in 6 months, then it doesn't work.
You are giving the WWE way too much credit with this, Jim.
No, I'm just presenting
way too much benefit of the doubt too.
Well, no, because it's very likely that he ends up gone in 6 months. Like,
much to the dismay of Mrs. Big Jim.
Well, she's already dismayed, so because he is no longer Walter.
He can hit that indie circuit and get Mrs. Big Jim can get a little bit closer.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
If he gets released and does I Am Dragging Her to a fucking indie show that he's on.
That'd be fun. Can she come out to the diner too?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it all comes down to booking for me.
Like, now, what do you think Mrs. Big Jim gets at a diner after a wrestling show? Is she going with the omelet as well, you think?
Well, she doesn't like eggs.
Oh, well, she ain't going with the omelet.
Not like eggs.
I never knew that about Mrs. Big Jim.
I'm gonna go like a chicken sandwich.
I'm trying to think. Like, that late at night, she's probably just gonna go
cheeseburger.
Would she get the warm fish salad?
I was gonna say that the one time we went to the diner after a show with cousin Brian, he got like the seafood sampler.
She would probably I think she would probably just go something like
Some tapas, maybe some light apps.
Some tapas. She might just go with like home fries or something. Home fries and toast.
Homeboy
keep it kind of light, breakfasty.
Some side dishes.
She respects her body more than we do. That makes sense. That checks out.
Yeah.
Give me the croquettes with the mashed potatoes and 2 more sides.
Extra
give me
gravy.
an omelet with bunch of potatoes.
Ryan gets the croquettes with the side of red beet eggs.
Corned beef hash for me. I'll get the side of corn.
Awful.
Cook the shit out of the corned beef hash.
Give me some coleslaw.
Do I get slaw with that?
But yeah, and again, I mean, I honestly, and maybe it's because I've watched 2 or 3 episodes at most of NXT 2.0. Like I don't care. I don't care. I don't.
It's tough to watch anymore.
I barely watched NXT UK. I think I watched one of their pay-per-views, and I watched that one match that one time for a watch-along that we did during the pandemic, Ryan and I. Besides that, I never really watched NXT UK.
Now, who was the guy feuding with AJ Styles?
Yeah,
Grayson Waller sent a tweet out, and it's good heel work. He said Walter is too much like Waller, so we made him change his name.
Great heel work.
I don't buy that as a legitimate answer.
I can't wait to watch Grayson Waller's chest get just destroyed.
Just obliterated.
In the name of Walter. Yeet.
I don't think people give a shit about Walter if it wasn't for GCW 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when he wrestled PCO and caved in PCO's chest. It was all shades of purple at the Joey Janela event.
Yeah.
And anyone that watched Progress whenever he was champion.
Oh yeah, it was Progress too. Yeah, that's fair.
Chopping the hell out of Tyler Bate and Trent Seven and Pete Dunne and all those guys.
WWE just gobbled them all up.
They're like, oh look, the British scene. They're now NXT UK.
Yeah. So
what day does NXT?
You're all getting Nazi names.
It's Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock.
Is it really? I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
I didn't know that.
Let's just name him Gunther Fankhausen. Pancake.
Any other thoughts on Walter, Gunther, whatever the hell his name is?
The whole thing sucks.
There will be no other thoughts on him again because he will be out of the company in 3 months.
Probably.
I'll take the over.
4.5.
We have to win 2 titles before he gets released too.
The Friday after Mania is usually a round of cuts, right?
Yeah. Usually within the first couple weeks after Mania, because we
were right
got
around
a better shot
at
his teammates getting fired first.
Well, let's see. We filled out the Andre Battle Royal, so we can release all of you. Here's Charlie had an ask 3CT. He says,
"What do you got, Charlie?
What is your holy grail for collectibles? Not even necessarily wrestling related."
One of those pictures with Sonny in bed.
Well, you can get those for $25.
It's $50 now. Supposed to pay off her court debt.
She's in a prison cot now. You get a picture with. Might be a little tight. Or sleep one. That'd be fun. Why not? What's wrong with you, Smokey? Why would you say that?
I mean, if we're talking wrestling related, it would be like a ring used winged eagle for me. Like if we're talking like holy grail, like money, money's no object.
This is still Jim too. That piece of Bret Hart's hair.
I was gonna say, I'm
just
proud of you, Jim,
a little lock of his hair.
I yanked one of those when we met him in Red.
It used to be the 100 milliliter vial of Bret Hart's drool was Jim's go-to, but so now we've graduated to the hair.
It's falling out.
Hell yeah!
Go for the hair.
Just so he can clone him someday.
Clones.
Is the clone is he risk for stroke too, or how's that work? I don't know how
the clone genes are fine.
I think you could keep him away from Goldberg. He'll be all right.
Yeah, if Gage Goldberg gets near him, we just got to protect the Bret Hart clone at all costs. But yeah, I mean, or even any of like the 90s WWF belts, the old Intercontinental, the old tag, definitely the old tag.
I have a fan view version of the old school tag title belts.
I've debated buying one of those many times. Many times.
There he goes.
Oh, he's gonna go get it.
I wish WWE would have, I don't know, maybe had those Toys R Us belts that they had a bit more successful. That they would have released other
like these one, this one.
Yeah, they were right around $100, $120, something like that.
Oh yeah, it was perfect.
PRU.
Like, I wish they would have had more success with that, and they would have released other.
I mean, it didn't help that Toys R Us died.
Target eventually sold them. They were at Target.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Well, I remember when like Toys R Us was going out. I went on a hunt for because they did a Raw Women's title.
They did.
That
I never found
and
one.
they just got bought out like crazy.
I think I saw them at like $79, and I should have popped.
Yeah, you probably should have. You failed on that one.
Now look at you.
Oh, what a beautiful strap.
That's a nice title.
That's a solid looking belt, man.
That looks like Demolition's belt or Strike Force.
Yeah, that's pretty solid looking.
Yeah, I got it for got one for me and one for Joe when they were having a sale. I got them for like $300.
I was gonna say they're not badly priced for especially for as good as that looks.
No, with the button straps, the button snaps too. None of this Velcro shit.
Nice.
None of the Velcro shit. Nice. But what are your guys' holy grail collectible wise? Could be wrestling.
Holy grail.
Wrestling.
That's tough.
Take a ring worn Kane mask.
Ooh.
Okay.
That'd be nice. You know, speaking of masks, you guys, I'm sure, weren't watching. You might not have been alive back when the machines invaded the WWF. You guys remember the machines? The big machine, the giant machine, the super machine?
Oh, the machines.
Remember the machines? So I think it was just one match. I don't even know if it was televised anywhere. But Roddy Piper wore a machine mask, and he was the Piper machine. And I don't know if it was Piper had his own mask, if he borrowed one. But imagine having the mask that the Piper machine wore for that one match. That would be incredible.
That would be wild.
The Piper machine. Then there was a Hulk machine as well. And the Crusher. There was a Crusher machine for one match.
I think something from Piper would be neat. Definitely something ring used. I think Jim's onto something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree. Like I would look for something from Guerrero just because you can't get anything from him anymore. So
I have a really sick and twisted one.
Uh-oh.
Chris Benoit's Bowflex.
Oh. I thought you were going to say the Blue Blazer mask.
Wow. That's
I know you did, Reggie Ray.
Mark, is this the Piper?
Oh, there you
the
go.
Piper machine?
That's the Piper machine. Yeah, look, there he is.
There he is. There's the Piper machine.
He's a Piper machine.
Mask.
That would be
suspenders from the American males.
I'm sure you can find them.
Probably something from the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Something ring used, something from Warrior. That would be neat.
Savage's King Savage crown.
Ooh, that'd be a good
Maybe
one.
some of the crystals from the Warrior's head when Savage broke his royal scepter on it. But the Warrior said to sew them in.
Like a pair of like Owen's boots, Brett's boots.
Brett's underwear.
Facts.
All right, man.
All right. It'll help with the
My
clothing.
underwear.
A subscription to Brett's OnlyFans.
Today with my OnlyFans, I'm going to the doctor. You guys can come along.
Again.
It's just a checkup.
Oh.
I might stop for a coffee.
He asked for a stool sample, but some guy named Jim stole it.
Oh, wow.
The doctor said I need a stool and a urine sample, so I just handed him my underwear.
Fucking Bret Hart.
Does anybody have a serious answer to this question? No? All right.
I mean, we all kind of answered. As someone who collects memorabilia, it's tough for me to like say what would be the one thing that stands out as like I must have this from anything outside of wrestling, just because I limit what I can get in the wrestling world. So definitely something from Eddie. And I think we've talked before, like I've never seen myself like actually pulling the trigger on buying a belt, because what am I going to do with it? So it would be something along those lines. Like if money's no object, I could get like a smoking skull belt or something, then that's probably what I would do.
You know, Andre the Giant's that vest he used to wear in his early days that had the tassels on it. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be a cool.
That would be neat.
Shawn Michaels' lazy eye. I'll take it.
Just pop it out like Rey Mysterio.
I'll say, give me Rey Mysterio's fake eye. How about that?
And you can buy that at any sporting goods store.
Say, that's just a fishing bobber you can get.
Dude, that's what we should do. We should just go buy a shitload of those and sell them on eBay.
Sell them on eBay
as Rey Mysterio's
Rey Mysterio's eye.
There's probably somewhere around still a WCW monster truck.
Oh, yeah.
For no reason, cool. That would be fun to own.
You wouldn't have to worry about parking spots there anymore, Smokey. You make your own.
Just run the cars over.
That's
something
true.
Stupid like that, probably.
Yeah, why not? Why not? All right, let's go ahead, Mark.
I was gonna say, what about something from the Dungeon of Doom? From any of those guys, that would be great. From the old WCW.
Oh boy,
there's so many props in there.
Jim, you know your actual choice would be Walter's leather jacket, just so you can
the trench coat. So I have the BVDs. Just give me the trench coat.